Hey everyone, welcome back to the Slow Burn Dynasty, Week 13, our final game of the season. We are in our first season here with the New Mexico Lobos. We're going to be taking on Cal this week. They are ranked number 11, 9-2 overall. This is a big week for us. If we can pull off a win, we become bowl eligible. If we lose, we're not. So a lot of good things can come from winning, and losing would be quite a disappointment. But let's get on to recruiting and scouting, come up with a strategy and game plan, so we're ready to take on Cal, put ourselves in the best position to get bowl eligible. Before we jump into recruiting, we've got a head coaching point we can use, and this one is going towards game management, and we're going to put it on Road Warrior, so the computer does not make false starts. Now that sounds like a good idea to me. So Episelva Wojtat in 1 year, I think he started at level 3, he's jumped up 7. So a pretty good year development wise for him. I don't think that will continue years down the road, but that would be nice to see, so we can get some of these other bonuses that can help us win more games. Alright, recruiting wise, we've got some news. Sean Bradshaw came in to visit, he got 270. Dominic Pennington came to visit, he got 370. Brandon Williams, that's a 4-star athlete we're after. He came in, he got 420 points. And Corey Gray, junior college tackle, he might be a sophomore if I remember correctly. So, but that's a huge get for us. Dwayne Smith came and visited, Andrew Lewis, a lot of guys came in. So we got some extra points on them. Hopefully pulling away from the schools that are behind us. And then we do get Daryl Vincent, a cornerback, again, who I think really suits our defensive style right now. And then Rob Mitchell came and visited, and Keith Newsom. So 2 more signings here. I think that puts us at 9, which at week 13, maybe not as far as we'd like to be on the recruiting trail and getting guys committed. But I think we're pulling away with a lot of these guys. So, come that last week, we may not have to put a lot of points into them, depending on the percentage of their commitment. So we've got 900 points to distribute here. Oh, interesting. So Brandon Williams, I think last week, pretty sure we were losing ground on him. We might have been in second place behind somebody. I'm going to have to go check that out. But we've got a massive lead on him. We're the only school that he visited. It's like everybody else dropped dramatically. And it says we only went up 95. So not sure what happened there, but we'll take that. He's 83% locked, which is good. I think after this week it'll be in the 90s. And then after week 14 it should be fairly close to locking him up. Because I know when you go into the off-season recruiting, you want them to be, I think, probably 90, maybe 80, but you want them pretty high, so you got to put a lot of points into them to get them to sign. Dominic looks like he's 99% locked, so I'm assuming after this week he will commit. So we'll take points off him. We'll give him 100, just because I want that 1% for sure. Leon Gore's at 86. He visited in week 9, but we've just continued to pull away from teams here. I'm going to put 100 on him for now. I'd like to get him signed this week, but if we have to take those 100 off, we will. Sean Bradshaw, the same. He's at 90. We'll keep him at 100, I think. We'll take 100 off. Nick Mark, I'm thinking we'll keep him at 200. Tulsa's got a visit this week. We'll kind of see how that plays out. But I think he's 100% locked. It's just between us and Tulsa, so we'll keep him at 200 because we're in the fight there. And it's going to come down to the off season anyway, probably. Marcus Neal came and visited, 79% locked. Quarterback, not necessarily something we need. Would be nice to maybe get another mobile quarterback on the roster. But we could wait another year. So we'll keep him as is, maybe come back and give him more points. depending on how everything else shakes out. CJ Walters, I kind of thought this would happen. Boise State's going after him fairly hard. Maybe somebody would take off the board, but I'm not super interested in adding anybody else to the board. So we'll keep him on for now, then I'll think about it. Daniel Washington doesn't look like the best running back. I've got some average grades here, but we just added a running back. I want to see where he's at before I decide what to do with Daniel. So we'll let him be for now. Dwayne Smith came and visited. I think that's 66 overall as a JUCO. Just not sold on him. 1 star out of Arkansas. I think it's just not enough for me to offer him right now. We'll hold off 1 more week before we offer. We've got a fairly big lead. He's visited. We'll maybe put 5 points on him to show him we're still interested a little bit. Keith Newsom came and visited. Everybody else got 5 points somehow after that. But again, free safety. I believe he's from New Mexico. Yeah, so it would be a good get just to have him on the team from New Mexico, but 53 overall. Just not enticing enough to offer him right now. We'll hold off another week. Rob Mitchell looks like just below average tight end, really developmental guy. The speed's not the greatest. The other grades don't really check out. Maybe some running ability, but blocking, catching, not quite there. So we'll keep him as is. We'll see what Eastern Michigan does next week, actually. So we've got a few weeks to sit on him. David Davis, I thought would sign. He's got the great size. The grading wise kind of checks out some of the big things we're after with some spec catch and route running. Speed is up there, acceleration's average. But again, I got to keep in mind that a D grade can be all the way up to 68, 69. So we'll keep David Davis as is for now. We got a scholarship on him. We got a big lead. No visit for Utah State as of yet. Nick Anderson came in and visited. We were the first of his visits, which makes me a little bit nervous. And as I look at our depth chart, as I try to use that thing to help guide my recruiting, otherwise I can get off course pretty quick, just trying to add as many recruits as possible. But looking at offensive line, returning, we do have Todd Davis, who's a 61 overall. He'll be a redshirt freshman. And, we've got a 62 overall center and a 61 overall right guard. So I'm just kind of processing this right now. We've signed Corey Gray. We've got those other 3 guys redshirted. We've signed John Wiley and Bernard Grier. I don't think we need Nick Anderson. And it pains me to say because we put so many points into him for so long, but I don't want to fall victim to this, sunk cost fallacy here where just because we put a lot of points into him, we have to try to sign him. So to start for now, I'm taking 500 off him, and he may just come off the board altogether because we'll have 6 freshmen next year on the offensive line. And he could potentially be somebody who jumps up quite a bit. And actually, I want to go check that right now. So let's hold off on recruiting. Let's go check out Nick Anderson on the recruiting board. All right, so here's Nick Anderson. One of the things that sold me, I think, was his 40 time. Bench press is a little bit low. His squat is high at 6'10". So that made me think that he'll jump to maybe 65, something like that. But with that low bench press, I don't know if he will. All right, so I'm gonna have to think on that as we go through the other guys here. All right, next we got Andrew Lewis. He came and visited last week. It's like he had a good visit. He met some of the game goals. Got a complimentary visit. Other school-wise, he's got one other offer, but they're 3,000 behind on us. I think for now I'll keep him at 250. We'll see if we need those points back at all. But I'd like to get Andrew Lewis signed soon. He's at 84% lock. That's good. That should jump after this week. Daniel Clark, I think I'm going to pass on. I think scouting-wise, he looks like a tight end type, fullback maybe. And actually we can't see the pass blocking stats on, or the blocking stats on here. All right, just because he's an athlete, I I'm going to put 300 into him. I may regret this. I may take it off later on, but we're starting there. Again, solely because he's an athlete. We took the other fullback off the board. We've got Rob Mitchell on the board as well. But if he ends up being, faster and can catch better than Rob, I think we're set. And now that I think about it, I'm going to pull Rob off the board. Because if I sign anybody, at the tight end position, I think it's going to be Daniel Clark. I think numbers-wise, he just checks out maybe a little bit better as far as catching traffic and things like that, breaking some tackle, he can stiff arm. This looks like a better athlete than Rob did. And we'll give Rob's points to Daniel. We'll bump to 400. All right, Michael McCauley, we're putting 500 into him now we're losing ground here to UTEP. And I think with his grades, I'm not sure I like putting 500 on him. Let's check out the other DNs. Okay, so we got Jonathan Francis. He checks out, I think, the base athleticism a little bit better. Next is check our depth chart, see who we got returning at DN next year. All right, so we got 3 returning DNs next year. We got 4 with Jonathan Francis. I'm good with 4 on the roster. And I don't know that Michael McCauley is worth 500 points right now and losing ground with that. So I'm going to pull those off him and see if we can't find somebody else who needs 500 points. All right, next is Ted Bailey, wide receiver. Pulling away with him. He's got good speed, good acceleration. Catching doesn't look great, but he's got a decent release. We'll keep him at 200 and check out the other wide receivers as we go here. Freddie Clark looks like a solid cornerback. Good speed, good acceleration. Got the zone coverage. He's got pursuit. So again, somebody that could fit in with our defensive system. We signed Vincent. It would be nice to get another guy in. So we'll keep 500 on him for now. Josh Smith. Nothing super spectacular. Maybe a slower version of Freddie Clark there. Somebody else that's got a scholarship on him. I think we'll hold off any points on him. Maybe if we have some, left at the end that nobody else needs. Clarence Williams, we're going to bump in 500. Would be a great free safety get for us. He's got speed, acceleration, got some man coverage, got some press. Could be a guy we shift over to strong safety with our 4-2-5 defense. But I really like him. I'd like to get him signed as well. So he gets 500. Is he ready to visit? No. He's only at 39%, so that's got to jump, in week 13 and week 14 to give us a chance to sign him. Next, we got Freddie Simmons, putting 275 in him, gaining 60. Auburn has a scholarship on him. I just don't know if I want to compete with Auburn. Let's go check out our wide receivers. See what our options are here. Leon Gore looks good. Bradshaw. Could be Dwayne Smith if needed. David Davis. Ted Bailey. So I'm going to pull him off Freddie Simmons. Just not willing to compete with Auburn. I'm going to pull Freddie off the board. And of these 4, looks like 3 of them are locked. Ted Bailey, we may not even have to sign. So we'll have to think about that. But things are really dwindling down here points-wise. We're running out of players here. We got a lot of points left. So we could make up a lot of ground with some of these guys. Joshua Carlton, I'm going to put 500 on him. I like his speed. He's got a stiff arm, truck, spin move, juke move, elusiveness. He can return. He's got some good route running and release. Somebody I think we could really use after a redshirt season. James Campbell, we're losing 185. We're losing 85, putting 100 on him. UCLA has a scholarship on him. I'm going to put him at 500 just because, again, free safety, strong safety is a need of ours. And I'm going to get him a scholarship as well. Last, we have Arnold Carter, 64 overall athlete. Let's see, he's got average speed, tackle, play rec, and block set is up there, no finesse or power moves, which makes me think he is a linebacker. No coverage. Yeah, so he's probably a linebacker, but could be somebody who can jump into a DN role depending on what those D grades actually are. But he's an athlete. He's getting 500 and a scholarship. Okay, so we've got, 320 points left. I'm going to keep Brandon Williams maxed out. Dominic's at 100. Leon looks good. Sean, Nick, Mark. Tempted to pull him off Nick, Mark. Let's see, Marcus Neal might get some. Well, I really want Andrew Lewis. I'm going to put 250 into him. We've got 80 left. I'm going to give him to Marcus Neal. I think we've got some wide receivers that are set. Or we had 70 left. But I think wide receivers are kind of set. We got 3 guys that look like they're going to sign. Maybe a 4th. But it would be nice to get another running quarterback on our roster. You can redshirt for sure. But I think I'd rather have Marcus Neal over Daniel Washington, based on the depth chart we have right now. All right, so I said I might not add anybody, but it's just too tempting. We got 2 openings. We'll see if we can't jump into the mix. We'll see if anybody's interested, that we're first in or second, that we didn't have on the board. We could maybe add. It's not EJ Marshall. We went to first. Took him off because we were so far behind. John Stewart here looks like a good quarterback. We're second. But we do need a DN. All right, so after looking, I added 3 guys. I took CJ Walters off our board. He was a quarterback that's not really a mobile quarterback, but I added Kevin Douglas at the end. If we can pull off a DN somehow, it would be nice to get another one. Then I added John Stewart, who was interested in us. And then I added Aaron Hunter out of Texas. So 3 more guys. I'm not sure how much ground we can make up, coming in the next, 2 weeks. But it doesn't hurt to add them on. It was nice to see that John Stewart was already interested in us. And so we could just add him. But again, he's only 17% locked. That's the trouble with adding these guys late. It's hard to make up a lot of lock percentage in just 2 weeks. But if we throw points into them, next week they've just got a week to make up a lot of ground. Not to say that they can't sign, but the likelihood is pretty low. All right, last thing to do recruiting-wise is check out the guys that we just signed. Again, I think we've got 9 on our board. So Daryl Vinson, 59 overall cornerback. Could go up. He's got good speed, good acceleration. He's got man and zone coverage, which is why I was pretty high on him. So hopefully he can surprise us and move up 1 or 2 overall points. Corey Gray, we got, again, a JUCO guy. I think he's a sophomore, but I can't remember. He's got good speed, strength, acceleration. Pass blocking's there, run blocking, impact blocking look really good. We ended up getting Glenn Swain. Maybe not the fastest, but he's got power moves, he's got block shedding, tackle's okay, and pursuit is up there too. And we did get Lee Johnson, good speed, good acceleration. I'm excited about Johnson and Burley coming in at linebacker. After their freshman year, they'll probably be contributing. And then Bernard Grier, that looks like a solid lineman. Blocking is there. He's got some acceleration, some strength. So we'll see where we put him. And then we got Brandon Burley, Jonathan Francis, Justin Bryant, quarterback of the future. Really excited about him and how he grades out. John Wiley looks like a solid offensive lineman. I think he's going to surprise us with his overall. And Anthony Cook, the big signing out of New Mexico. If we can get Cook and Pennington, that would be huge for us to sign the top in-state guys. And then William Washington could play corner, free safety, maybe strong safety as well. So excited to use him. All right, recruiting is wrapped up. Let's move on to scouting. All right, the head coach of Cal is Luke Fickell, formerly offensive coordinator, I believe, at Ohio State. He was at Cincinnati. I think currently he is now at Wisconsin, but a very good coach. Offensively, he's got the Cincinnati playbook, which is a multiple playbook. They're going to run more than they pass. They're going to be fairly conservative. Which I say this every week, and I never look into it, but I'm not sure what what conservative means. But sub-frequency is up, and they're not going to go no huddle. Defensively, they're going to 3-3-5 playbook. Run and pass are defended equally. They're going to be aggressive on defense. And then sub-frequencies at 70, which means they've probably got some athletes they can switch around and more depth than we have. All right, skill-wise, Fickle's a level 38. He's got the before play stuff kind of maxed out. Timeouts are going to come out hot. He's going to be able to predict some plays, which can get us on some run plays if they stuff us and set us behind the chains. And it looks like they won't hurt themselves with penalties. Defensively, they got Kurt Maddox. They got all the D-line stuff kind of maxed out. Stamina and injury. Zone coverage is going to be very good. Man coverage, they get no upgrades, which makes me think they're going to do more zone than man. And then catching the ball, they're going to be a little bit better. Offensively, they got Paul Chryst, formerly head coach at Wisconsin. He's a level 40, so they get everything maxed out. Their offense, it's going to be tough to stop here. I'm sure they've got some athletes that will take advantage of these bonuses and make it really tough for us. All right, coaches are scouted. Let's move on to the players. First one up would be Lawrence Lawrence, but when I looked at the injury report, he is out for 7 weeks, so we will not be facing him. However, they got Orlando Mathis right behind him. He's going to be a tough guy to bring down. 86 speed, acceleration's there, break tackles up. He can truck. He's not really going to fumble the ball. He's elusive. His vision is phenomenal. He's got some strength, stiff arm, spin, juke move, all that is there. So again, somebody we really got to focus on stopping. Our run defense does a pretty good job. We haven't really had anybody break off a big run. We've been solid, so we just got to continue to do that. Ryan Dockery is our quarterback, redshirt senior, 90 overall. Just got a bump because his awareness went up. Not going to be a threat to run, but he's got enough throw power. His throw accuracy is really good. So we've got to have tight zones, match up well man-wise, and kind of pick our spots to blitz him. On their offensive line, they got right tackle Justin Oliver, 89 overall. He has good speed and acceleration. Awareness is up there. Pass blocking could be considered a little bit low, but probably good enough to make it difficult for our guys. And then his run block is really good. So paired up with that running back, could be problems to the right side. And then lastly, offensively, they got left guard Kyle Moss, 89 overall. Good speed for a guard. Acceleration's up there. Awareness is up there. Pass block, run block, both look very good. Impact block is a little bit low, but again, 76 is enough to make it difficult for our guys, and he's strong enough at 85 to stonewall a lot of our defenders. Defensively, they got Alfred Nelson at cornerback, 90 overall, 96 speed, 94 acceleration. Awareness is up there. Man and zone coverage look really good. Press might be a little bit low, but again, with us, 83 is good enough. He can catch. Play rec is good. His pursuit's really good. And then tackling for a cornerback looks really solid. Then on their D-line, they got left end Wallace Page, redshirt junior, 89 overall. Looks like he's got good speed. Acceleration's a little bit low. Awareness is down, but his strength is up. Tackle's up there. Power move, finesse move, block shedding. He can cause some trouble in the backfield, get to the quarterback. So we got to be aware of him. Next, we got left outside linebacker Chip Copeland, 88 overall, 88 speed, 99 acceleration. This guy is going to fly around the field. If he doesn't make the tackle, which he probably will with the 88 rating, he's going to cause problems and disrupt. Play rec might be a little bit low. Block shedding is good. Pursuit might be low, but his zone coverage is really good. Man coverage is there. Hip power, he's strong. Looks like he has some finesse moves to get to the quarterback as well. So somebody, speed-wise, he can do a lot of damage. And last on defense, we got cornerback Robert Lilly, redshirt junior, 88 overall. Good speed, Acceleration's up there. Awareness is good. Man in zone. Press coverage. Catching might be down. But for a corner, that's probably pretty good. Play rec is way up there. Pursuit's up there. Tackling's really good. So in their top 4 defenders, some really solid guys that we really have to be aware of when we throw, when we run. We've got to be in our A game to take these guys on. All right, now that we've seen their top players, let's see if we can find any weaknesses on their team. Wide receivers don't look like anything special here, although Slaughter has good speed and acceleration, as does Manning. So they're fast. We've got James and Jackson both at 83, so they match up well with both of these guys. Looks like they got a good freshman here, Dan Jackson. And so Houston, again, is going to have his work cut out for him. Okay, so center is a 71 overall. And we've got Swain and Bowling in the middle there. With our 4-man front, can really cause them problems. So we'll look to them to split some double teams, get in the backfield, whether it's the left guard helping out. Again, looks solid. It doesn't look solid, but is solid. But paired with Brown, I think we can take advantage of that. And Abrams over 85 overall is solid. And Oliver we saw at 89 overall. So a solid offensive line. I think we can take advantage of the center. It's got to be an every play kind of thing. Aaron Davis might be a little bit low at 81 here. Matched up against our tackles, I think he has the edge. D tackles both at 74, both fairly young. I think Josh Jackson can take advantage of this for sure. Robin Webb looks fairly slow, acceleration's down. Maybe something that our center, can get to after pancaking their D tackles, and then get to the second level here and take advantage of this weakness at middle linebacker here. Right outside linebacker, not much better, but faster. Free safety, 85 overall. Bailey at 82 overall, but good speed. Awareness is down. So they got some openings for us here that if we can get in the right spots and the right play calls, I think we can take advantage of them. Kicker looks solid at 95. Punter 74 is probably good enough. There's a return game with Mathis, and their long snapper is Justin Oliver. Injury-wise, we still have Kelly Smith out, which really hurts our O-line. Him being a 76 overall. We've got a freshman in there. I can't remember if it's Joe Green or Bobby Graham taking his spot, but he's still out for 4 weeks. We have to make a bowl game to get him to play again, and maybe that'll motivate our guys this week to do it for Kelly Smith. And then Cal, as I mentioned before, has Lawrence out for 7 weeks. All right, so after scouting their team, game plan strategy-wise, offensively, play action I think is on the table. The interior of their defensive line, we can maybe hold up against. Run advantage, I don't know if we have it, with their linebackers plus their DNs. Pass advantage, I think their corners are going to give our guys a difficult time. So we've got to get our wide receivers ready to win some battles there. 6-man protection I think is always in play, but again with their DNs being as good as they are and our tackles being who they are, we have to keep a tight end in, a running back in at times. Defensively, I think we have the advantage when it comes to man coverage in the passing game. So I think we'll go man and zone. We'll blitz out of both man and zone, but we'll primarily be a zone team. But there will be instances where man coverage feels like the best call, especially when we've got 2 really good D tackles working against their interior linemen. Our linebackers have been doing a great job this year, but they rate out at 78, 79, and then they've got a really good running back and quarterback. So with all that being said, run advantage, no. Pass advantage I think is a wash. I think we match up well with their top 2 guys for sure. And again, Houston is going to have his work cut out for him, much like he does, every week this season. So hopefully that will kind of help him mature and grow for next year and the years going forward. But passing advantage, I could probably say it's a wash. is what I would say. Washed with a question mark. All right, let's take a look at what the ESPN game preview is. Cal's coming in ranked number 11. They're 9-2. Overall rating they're B+, we're B-. That's a pretty significant gap. They got us in points per game, total offense, rush offense, pass offense, total defense. We've got them in rush defense. We've got the number 1 rush defense. So that's good to see. Although I don't know what kind of indicator that is for our team. Pass defense, we're giving up 275, and I think that's last. So that may be why our rush defense is first, because teams only can pass it on us. Turnover differential, we're tied, 4 per game. So that's good to see. We just got to take advantage of when we turn a team over. And it looks like Kirk is going to go with them. But again, I said it at the beginning of the episode. This is a really big game for us. First year coming in, we're 5-6. Not only would it be a big upset, but we would get bowl eligible. So a lot of things to play for us. Regardless of what happens, this has been a great rebuild first year or year 0 for moving forward. So I'm proud of the things we've done, but we got to cap it off with a good showing here against Cal. So that's going to put a cap on recruiting. Hopefully we can sign more after this game. I feel good about our game plan, identifying some of their weaknesses, and we just got to put it in play, execute. My usering on defense has to get better. That's an every week kind of thing, and that's the growth that we're going for here on my end, quarterbacking as well. But I think we're in a good position to upset Cal and get into bowl eligibility. The last thing to do is to play the game. So thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.